Now, according to analysts, Dangote Cement is really the reason we're seeing the market sort of closing up today, rebounding for a second time this week. But we're also seeing Ashaka Cement, CCNN, both cement companies closing up. What really are the potentials and what really is attracting investors to that cement sector? Do you think it's on the back of news that the country is moving closer to self-sufficiency in the cement sector?
Well, that's a high possibility, but there was a singular event yesterday, the opening of the new lines at the Obajana cement factory for Dangote Cement. And this in itself could have just drawn a lot of attention to that sector once again. For a while now, if that industry, for those who've been tracking that industry, the signs have been pretty clear. Throughout last year, there were specific plans by each of these companies to expand capacity, production capacity, and the companies under Lafarge, the Cement Company of Northern Nigeria too, and the Dangote Cement Company have all been able to achieve a significant level of capacity expansion. With what happened yesterday and the attention going in there, I'm not at all surprised as to the way the investors have played out with the market today. Clearly, the president's actual presence at the commissioning and his statements concerning the cement industry must have led to a great belief in terms of the prospects that industry is going to have.
But Boyega, I mean, so let's turn our attention to another sector, of course, that we're seeing some major gains in, the pharmaceutical sector. We've seen it maintain sort of a steady performance, despite the fact that we also saw our index not performing so well in the past couple of weeks. Now, a few stocks seem to stand out, and I just want to talk about three of them. What are the potentials for stocks like GlaxoSmithKline? We've seen that they were one of our top gainers yesterday, and we've also seen the stock remain at 21 Naira this month. Even with declining, we've seen other stocks sort of losing gains, but Glaxo was sort of this steady rock at 21 Naira.
Yes. Okay, well, again, that's an industry that has a very interesting play. Yes, most of the main outlook for pharmaceutical companies are supposed to be OTC drugs, some of them the ethical drugs. And as you well know, they've had to battle with the market in terms of fake drugs coming into the market. But one thing that they all have done, whilst maintaining their pure pharmaceutical factories, and whilst building them to the standards, they've also branched out into consumer goods. And when I say consumer goods, May & Baker is bottling water, and that's a line that's bringing in considerable flows for them. GlaxoSmithKline, as you well know, has its own energy drinks. That's another line that's bringing in a lot of stuff for them. These reflect in the performance of their shares. With respect to Nimeth, there are significant plans. It's gone through some kind of corporate governance restructuring and management restructuring. The plans in Nimeth are being deliberately carried out now in terms of the direction in which the company needs to go, and they're actually planning on coming in with an energy drink themselves. So I'm not at all surprised. The interesting thing here is that over the past 10-12 days since the market has been sliding, these are stocks that have either grown now about 30% since the start of this month, and or otherwise they've just simply maintained their stability in spite of the losses in the market. So it's a pretty good sector right now.
And like you're talking about Nimeth International, let me just give you some numbers. It grew by 30%, like you said, and we're seeing, of course, major gains and volumes in that stock this month. But let's talk about some of our losers, Adegboyega. Dangote Fleur, that stock, you know, was sort of riding high, then all of a sudden dropped. We're seeing major losses now. It seems like the market sort of has lost interest when we didn't hear anything about the company selling off a percentage of its stake to Tiger Brands.
Well, yeah, Dangote Flour, interestingly, I dare say that will be a surprise as to what happened today to it. Because the flour mill sector is one that continues to have its prospects. And as you well know, the final product of Dangote flour feeds into other sectors in the economy, as well as its all the aspects in its food section. But then, like you rightly said, there are indications. There could be signs of weak demand in the ultimate use to which its end product is being used. And these signs are signs that will allow traders to want to reflect their interest in the stock.
Well, Boyega, we don't have much time, but I'd like you to very quickly tell me, what is your outlook for tomorrow? Do you see the index sort of maintaining this good performance that we've seen so far on Monday and Tuesday?
Well, clearly I was pretty much optimistic at the start of this year. I lost some of that optimism somewhere along the line, but the past 2 days tends to suggest that we just might still close half year on a positive note. Sentimentally, yes, it's something I'd like to see, but in terms of reality, there's a lot of turbulence in the economy right now. We're still battling with inflation, we're battling with the exchange rates, we're battling with increased tariffs, but the companies themselves are sitting down and looking at these activities and wondering how they're going to get about them. I expect that that as we tend to be resilient around here, we will get past these. I think half year we should still be looking to maintaining a positive year-to-date
Well, thank you so much. So that's another positive outlook we're getting today.